Steve, if those who pay the bills are vastly outnumbered by those who reap the benefits of this new entitlement and many others, is this taxation without representation? And if it is, what should we do about it?
Well, it may be taxation without representation, but you were asking, how do people get back at that table? How do we get a seat at the table? How do we make our wishes, our anger known? Well, the obvious way is the Tea Party revolts that have been going on now since President Obama was sworn in. But there's another way, and it's the silent way, and it's already happening right now. Income tax receipts are down 30, 35, 40%, even more this year. It's one of the reasons the deficit is ballooning so much. It's not just the spending. It's that people are, to borrow a phrase, going galt. And when these top marginal tax rates hit 47% federal, or in the case of New York City and certain localities in California, going to edge up to 57% or more top marginal rate, people are just going to stop working. Oh, I mean, they're not going to, sell off their possessions and live in a cave. But if you have to work twice as hard for that last dollar and keep less and less and less of it, maybe 40 cents if you're lucky, you're not going to work as hard. And that's going to mean a slower economy, which is going to mean even smaller payrolls, fewer taxes. You ask how people are going to make their feelings known. I think they're already doing it.
So, Bill, do you think that's going to be enough? I mean, is the structure in place that will allow us to make the change that needs to happen here? Or do we need to do something else structurally to our government to prevent our representatives from simply using our money to ensure their own reelection?
Well, Scott, you know, you're running for political office, so I'd love to hear your take on the powers of the incumbency, but the powers of an incumbent are tremendous. And I happen to agree with Steve. You know, one of the things that they do when they're treating cancer, one of the most effective and recent cancer treatments is, rather than going after the tumor, they develop medicines that restrict the ability for the tumor to get new blood. They restrict the ability for new blood supply. That's what feeds the tumor. That's what feeds cancer cells. It needs a lot of blood because it's growing so fast. I think Steve's exactly right. The structural advantages of this Congress for life, the political advantages that incumbents have, are so overwhelming that I am beginning to take, not as my first or second or third position, as a last-ditch position, the belief that really the only way to stop this blob is just to cut off its blood supply. Just don't feed the damn thing.
Hey, I'm Alfonso Rachel. And that was a little taste of Trifecta with Scott Ott, Stephen Green, and Bill Whittle kicking around some strategies to combat the tax and spend Democrats. Go to PJTV.com to see that whole trifecta. Scott, Stephen, and Bill have new topics each week with a take on the headlines you won't find in the mainstream media and you'll only find at PJTV.com. And be sure to look for my Next Zonation coming this week on PJTV.com. You'll catch my 2 cents on Obama's socialization, but I mean healthcare plan. So, see you over at PJTV.com. Go to PJTV.com.